Here's your First Warn Weather forecast first, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Well, after a few busy days, thankfully we are much quieter and calmer here. Another cold front passing through the state line, helping to clear things out. We did have a very brief isolated shower in northern Stevenson County along that front, but things continue to quiet down here in the evening. And back behind that front, we'll also see a pretty significant drop in our humidity. Doesn't really come in the way of temperatures just yet, but right now we're still at 82 in Rockford, Rochelle, and in Freeport 81, in Dixon 84 down in Sterling. The rest of the evening tonight features those dropping temperatures along with clearing skies. We're down to the low 60s overnight tonight with that drop in humidity. I'll let you know how long that sticks around before temperatures climb again, coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
Screams, sights, and smells. Tutty Baker Festival arrives at Freeport. Hear why people love visiting the Pretzel City this weekend. Plus, keeping the love for reading alive. The Rockford Public Library encourages young families to read with its monthly book sale. And water safety is important now more than ever. How local organizations come together to promote education and safety for our state line children.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Rian Wild. Thanks for joining us tonight. We will get to those top stories, but first we have some breaking news, and sports anchor and reporter Drew Collins is here to share it with us. Drew.
Yeah, Rockford's own Fred VanVleet has been busy making Rockford proud on and off the court for years. Today he notched another accomplishment under his belt, and it's a major deal in the entire world of basketball. Today it was announced that Fred VanVleet has been elected as the new president of the National Basketball Association. He takes over after NBA veteran CJ McCollum. Sources tell ESPN that this will be a 4-year term as the next NBPA leader. Now this is a big deal because the kid from Rockford now becomes one of the most important voices in the entire world of basketball. From the best players in the world to some of the most powerful figures in basketball, he now becomes the middleman of the communication and the future of basketball. Ryan?
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks so much for that, Drew. Folks are flocking to Freeport this weekend as the Tutty Baker Festival returns to downtown. Eyewitness News reporter Blake Dietz was there to catch all the sights and the sounds.
Flags flying, rides rolling, and finger-licking food. Festival season is here, and in Freeport, the Tutty Baker Festival is bringing people to the Pretzel City.
The food is awesome, the weather is beautiful, and it's just a beautiful environment. And then the retailers, they are good, so it's pretty good to come out, especially for the little ones.
14-year-old Brooke Oldenburg came from Forreston to the fest. She says her favorite part of the fest is the food.
So what made you come out here today?
The food, and I wanted to see the animals. One of the rides last year, it was really fun, and then the food is really good.
Mayor Jody Miller says events like the Tutty Baker Festival are important for smaller cities like Freeport.
It's a great community event. It really draws people not just together that live here in Freeport, but it brings a lot of people that are here for tourism, just visiting the community. So it's great for business, it's great for the community. Anytime that we can come together is always a good thing. It's
all about community, says Glover.
It's a good thing for the city. I think it's a good thing for the community. I think it's good things for people to come together because this brings more peoples out and they get more friendlier, more, it's more friendly.
Reporting in Freeport for your home team, I'm Blake Dietz.
Well, today is Saturday, which means our local farmers markets were busy this morning. The North End City Market on the southeast corner of Auburn Street and Main Street in Rockford saw vendors selling locally grown produce, beef and chicken, baked goods, and more. Well, between the heat and the heavy rain we've seen here at the state line, vendors at the market say this harvesting season has been tougher than previous years.
We've lost our raspberry crop because it was drought, then it was heat, then it was downpours, and the berries just go to mush. I've been doing this since 1973, 1975. As far as weather and labor, this is the worst year ever.
Another vendor today says his corn was completely blown down from the weather, and it's getting tougher to maintain the crops. Well, book lovers had themselves a day at the Rockford Public Library. A huge book sale was going on all afternoon. Guests could stock up on a selection of used books, graphic novels, DVDs, and more. Prices ranged from 50 cents to $2. The sale happens a few months out of the year, hosted by the group Friends of the Library. The group gives the money made from the sales directly back to the library in events like the summer reading program. Organizers stress the importance of reading, especially in this day and age.
I believe there's a real connection to a parent or a loved one holding a small child on their lap or sitting next to them and reading them anything. It makes the physical connection and being read to makes a connection, I think, in the child that reading is important.
McKay encourages families to visit the library's website to learn about the upcoming events that they have. President Trump intensifies his trade war today with letters announcing new tariffs. Starting August 1st, he says he will levy 30% tariffs against Mexico and the European Union. The move is a major escalation in tariffs with two of the closest U.S. trading partners. The EU's Commission president says the EU may adopt proportionate countermeasures, and the president of Mexico calls it, quote, unfair treatment. The letters are part of a new blitz of tariffs that Trump says will revive the U.S. economy. Well, a federal judge in Los Angeles orders the Trump administration to halt indiscriminate stops and arrests by ICE in Southern California. The sweeping order also requires federal agents to stop restricting attorney access to an LA detention facility. Immigrant advocate groups filed a lawsuit last week accusing ICE of systematically targeting brown-skinned people during ongoing immigration raids. In her ruling, the judge agreed the government is violating the Fourth and Fifth Amendments of the Constitution. Local experts are working to reduce drowning rates in our area. The third annual Swim 1922 Water Safety Clinic took place at Harkins Aquatic Center in Rockford today. Multiple organizations, including the Rockford Park District, hold the event each year to promote water safety and swimming education. The goal is to bring drowning numbers down, especially in the Black and brown communities. Those with the event say this event is crucial for this neighborhood every year.
The reason that we agreed to have our clinic at this particular pool is because of the tragedy that happened years ago with the young boy drowning over here. And so it's important for us to be in this neighborhood to make sure these children have access to water safety skills and all the tools that they need, as Vanika said, when they're in the pool and when they're at home or even just playing with water anyway.
Joseph says this is something families look forward to every year. Well, speaking of giving back, it was Serve Day at City First Church today, the third annual event on Rockford's East Side. The day brings 12 organizations like City First Church and the Rockford Rescue Mission to distribute groceries to those in need. The church serves families, communities, and neighborhoods during this day. The event also happens nationwide with other churches participating from across the country. Those with the church say they want this day to bring hope and love to those who need it most.
Everybody who's serving today is just part of the City First Church family. People who come on Sunday say, hey, this is my church home and I want to give back. And so a lot of people serving families, kids, people of all ages. And it's fun to see everybody, all the generations coming together for a purpose bigger than ourselves, just to give back.
Seton says another distribution day will be held on Tuesday of this week. You can find more details on the event on their website. Coming up next, the latest on the deadly Texas flooding just over a week later. The search and rescue continues and the authorities not giving up. More details when we return.
Only a slim isolated shower for us here today after a few busy days. Temperature made its way to the 85-degree mark in Rockford. I'll let you know if those numbers will drop into tomorrow and when we could see our next rain chances coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Rianne Weil, Drew Collins, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Now to the latest on the aftermath of the flooding in Texas. At least 129 people have died, 166 still missing. Kerr County hit the hardest with at least 103 deaths, including 36 children. President Trump visited the area on Friday. ABC's Jacqueline Lee is in Texas Hill Country with more.
Search and rescue efforts continue following devastating flooding across Texas last week. Thousands of people painstakingly searching for those who remain missing. We embedded with active duty and former Navy SEALs, volunteering their expertise navigating difficult terrain in the Guadalupe River.
When you saw all of this for the first time, what was going through your head?
I mean, I think I can speak for everybody that was here because none of us have seen anything like this, but I think everybody, for the first 30 minutes or so, everything was quiet between us. I think everybody was just taking it in and just realizing what just happened here.
Due to the visibility issue here in the water, divers using feel and smell in the recovery process.
The SEALs partnering with 300 Justice Road, a local nonprofit dedicating to providing resources to communities in need. Volunteers providing more than 1,000 meals a day to first responders and volunteers outside Camp Mystic.
We've all been through it with Harvey, and it feels great to be out here helping people. Have run through every emotion of the roller coaster this week.
On Friday, President Trump and First Lady Melania visiting the disaster zone.
I've gone to a lot of hurricanes, a lot of tornadoes. I've never seen anything like this.
When asked about those who claimed warning alerts that could have saved more lives didn't go out in time, he had this response.
Well, I think everyone did an incredible job under the circumstances. This was, I guess Christie said, a 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000 years.
President Trump also emphasized the state's response over that of the federal government, saying they'll figure something out. Officials say the cleanup could take months. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Kerr County, Texas.
We had another warm day here at the state line, but that won't be the case for tomorrow. When we come back, meteorologist Jordan Wolf is in to tell us how warm we could get these next few days. His full forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, it's been another warm day in the state line, though not quite as warm as the last several days. We briefly made it to 85 degrees in Rockford. We're now sitting at 82 there, as well as in Rochelle, 83 in Woodstock, 80 degrees in Poplar Grove, DeKalb, 82 also in Janesville, Wisconsin. Area-wide, you can see that the temperatures really don't vary all that much. Even off to the north, many spots sitting in the upper 70s to the low 80s across a very broad region. But we do have the direction of the wind coming out of the west-northwest, and that's behind a couple of cold fronts that came through. And you can really see that cold front in evident when you look with our dew point values. Those are still sitting in the 60s for us here locally and even close to that 70-degree mark, but much drier air back behind it out to the northwest. And that's what we're going to see as we head through the evening tonight, that big drop in our humidity values behind that cold front. That cold front really hasn't brought us much in the way of precipitation. You can see most of that moisture producing some of those rain and thunderstorm showers well down to the south and to the southeast. Here locally, we did have a couple very, very brief showers, including one that is now out in McHenry County, just to the south of Woodstock. A brief shower also north of Freeport earlier, and looks like there's another one out that direction at the moment. Aside from those very isolated showers, we will stay dry here through the evening tonight. Likely many spots will actually stay dry as we head through the overnight hours. We are left with a lot of sunshine showing up pretty well with our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera up in Beloit, Wisconsin, although you're starting to see maybe a little bit of that haze that's trying to peek through. We'll maintain a mostly clear sky. Clouds continue to thin out here through the evening, down to 62 for that overnight low. Only a light northwesterly wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That northwesterly wind does start to flip around going into tomorrow, so temperature-wise, we're actually pretty close to where we were today, but the big difference is the drop in that humidity. It will be very pleasant tomorrow. Some mixed sunshine and very close to average for this time of year. As we lack that humidity, it'll be a nice day to get outside and enjoy some of that weather. The one thing that we will have to keep an eye on is some wildfire smoke up from the north. And the main impacts that we will have from that is a pretty vibrant sunset tonight and likely a sunrise going into tomorrow. Aside from that, that smoke stays well aloft, so not much of the impact down here toward the surface, and a pretty quick hit of that wildfire smoke in and out as we head into Monday. As far as our rain chances go, we do stay dry with the influence of that high pressure overhead today. Some cloud cover down to the south going into tomorrow, and the more broad moisture producing some rain and thunderstorms down to the south of us and even well south of I-80 in central Illinois. The influence of that high pressure stays overhead even as we go into Sunday and going into Monday, and will maintain a mostly sunny sky even possibly then into Monday as well. Now, with the lack of the rain today, we can kind of get a view of where we are as far as the month is concerned. We're almost halfway through the month now. We had 2/100ths of an inch of rain at the airport today. That brings our monthly total to 3.15 inches, over 1.5 inches above normal so far for this time of the month. And yearly, we're still a little bit behind as far as our rainfall is concerned. We will start to get our next rainfall chances working in as we head into next week. And this will be along what we call a baroclinic zone. That's the difference between this air mass that's a little bit cooler and the warmer air mass down to the south. We get those low pressure systems that sometimes track right along that frontal boundary, and we might get a few of those going into the middle of next week, primarily Wednesday into Thursday before that front clears us down to the south. So we are left with a lot less humidity for tomorrow, 84 degrees, starting to see that warmth build back up, 87 on Monday, almost 90 degrees on Tuesday. Best chances for rain as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, and then we get another drop in the humidity toward the next weekend.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Well, Drew's the next with sports. The Cubs faced the Yankees, and they were out for revenge. Stay with us for the highlights.
Now sports with Drew Collins.
The Cubs were seeking revenge after 11-0 shutout loss in the Bronx yesterday. Let's check out how they fared today. Matthew Boyd on the bump. He's been great, and he was good again today. Here goes Giancarlo Stanton as he strikes out. This was in the second inning. Here's Carson Kelly hitting in the 4-hole today and delivering in the top of the third. Base knock that gets through the left side to make it 2-0 Cubs. In the fourth, Boyd facing last night's hero and former Cub, Cody Bellinger. Boyd gets him to bite on the nasty curve. That was just working really well for him today. Boyd goes 8 innings, 4 hits, no runs, and 6 punch-outs. He was given the win just to check out all that action on that ball as he strikes out Stanton again. You can never get enough insurance runs in Yankee Stadium, and that's what Carson Kelly secures, his 12th homer of the year. The Cubs won it 5-2. Boyd is now 10-3 on the season. The Sox hosted Cleveland. Things were pushed back a little late because of a rain delay, but eventually things got rolling. Kyle Teel crushed a 2-run homer to tie the game in the fourth. It was tied 2-2. But in the sixth, Cleveland took back the lead and never looked back. That ball was crushed. The Sox are losing this one 6-2 in the 9th inning. You don't want to miss PCA at the All-Star Game. That's Tuesday night in Atlanta. We'll have it on Fox 39. The pregame coverage begins at 6 o'clock and the game at 7. Game 1 of the NBA Summer League was a doozy for the Bulls. They were crushed by the Raptors 116-72. Matas Buzelis was the highlight of the team. He flashed a nasty windmill dunk and finished with 17 points in 25 minutes. Everyone had their eyes on first-round pick Noah Essengay, but he was disappointing. He finished with only 5 points in 24 minutes. The Bulls have a lot of young talent, but they couldn't pull it together last night. They'll have Game 2 against the Kings here at 7, and I'll have those highlights tonight. Angel Reese, your NBA 2K26 cover girl. Let's check out Lynx and Sky in Chicago. Getting in the mix here late in the third, Sky up 11. Rachel Banham finds Reese in transition. She lays it in. The Sky lead would shrink to 3 late in the fourth. Ariel Atkins drains the runner from the top of the key. She had a game-high 27 points. The Sky had a short lead when Banham drives and hits another floater in the lane. She had 12 points and 5 assists. The Sky hold on to wins 87-81. The Sky Carp have a doubleheader. They are facing the Cincinnati Reds affiliate, the Dayton Dragons. In Game 1, the Carp trail 3-2 in the 6th. Game 2 starts after Game 1. That's sports. We'll be right back.
I feel like we always talk about your favorite weather, but tomorrow is your favorite weather because it's hammock weather.
It's hammock season.
Yeah, it's going to be nice and warm, no humidity.
Yeah,
yesterday. You had your days yesterday.
Yesterday was my day.
Right.
It wouldn't have been a good hammock day yesterday. May have flown out of it, but it's looking good for you.
You know, watching that cloud pass overhead might not have been so bad until the rain and wind hit. And then it might have been a different story.
Time to go in once that rain set in for me.
But it'll be nice tomorrow, and I'm excited for that.
Tomorrow, long break. We might have to deal with that in the hammock as temperatures are going to be in the 80s, a lot less humidity, and that's really thanks to this cold front passing through. Now, one thing along that front, a very slim chance for an isolated shower east of Rockford now on the First Warrant Interactive Radar from Rockford, Glass & More, but we're down to the low 60s tonight and tomorrow night. Some of that heat beginning to build in back near 90 on Tuesday.
Thanks, Jordan, and thank you for joining us. Have a good night.